Hi friends, this is Gautam. In this video tutorial, I can discuss about how to configure hot standby router protocol. So in previous session, we can discuss about Hsrp basic concepts. So in this session, we can do lab. So this is an example scenario. So here I can use three routers, R2 router, R3 router, R4 router. So here this is my office network. In office network I can use network as 192.168.100.0/24 network, and I am using 3 PC, PC1, PC2, PC3. So each and every PC I will assign IP address as. So PC1 I will assign the IP address as 192.168.100.10 and PC2 20 and PC3 30, and switch it should be connected to router 2, router 3 and router 4. So each and every interface I will assign IP address as 2. Here router 2 fast ethernet 0/0 interface IP address is 192.168.100.2, and router 3 I can assign IP address as 192.168.100.3, and router 4 fast ethernet 0/0 I can assign IP address as 192.168.100.4. Okay, so from my office network I can connect it to internet. So there are three gateways are here, three possible path to reach the internet. So either I can use gateway as 2 or 3 or 4. Three IPs are there. So in Hsrp, instead of assigning physical interface IP address as gateway, so instead of that we can use virtual IP. So that virtual IP can be assigned as a gateway. So all these three router can communicate through Hsrp. So once the active router goes down means the standby router will act as an active. So we can communicate to the internet through active router. So we can use the internet continuously. So if one router goes down means within a fraction of second it will switch over to next router. And router 2 to internet we can use /30 network, that is 200.200.200.0/30 network, and router 3 to internet I can use 200.200.200.4/30 network, and router 4 to internet I can use 200.200.200.8/30 network. So here I will assign IP as 2, here 1, here I will assign 5, 6, and internet fast ethernet 1/1 I will assign the IP address as 200.200.200.9, and here I will assign 10. Okay, let's go to R2 router. So in R2 router each and every interface I will assign the IP address predefinedly. So we can check show IP interface brief. Here we can see fast ethernet 0/0 I will assign IP address as 192.168.100.2, and this is my uplink connected to internet. I will assign 200.200.200.2. Next we can check it in R3 router, show IP interface brief. So fast ethernet 0/0 I will assign the IP address as 192.168.100.3, and uplink I will assign the IP address as 200.200.200.6. Okay, next we can go to the R4 router. So in R4 router also you will check do show IP interface brief. So fast ethernet 0/0 I will assign the IP address as 192.168.100.4, and uplink I will assign 200.200.200.10. Okay, so next from internet to R2 router, internet to R3 router, internet to R4 router. So I will enable the routing protocol as Hsrp routing protocol for R2, R3, R4 and internet router. So we can check it. Hsrp routing protocol I can enable already. Show IP route. This is an internet router. So this is an example router. I will change the symbol as internet. So here you can see I will enable Hsrp routing protocol. So I can reach 192.168.100 network can be reached through three paths, that is R2, R3 and R4 path. Okay, here also we can check it in R2 router, show IP route. So in internet router I will create two loopback interface, that is 1.1.1.1 and 2.2.2. So here we can see I can learn through Hsrp routing protocol. So just show run. So I will enable the Hsrp routing protocol. Okay, R2 router, R3 router and R4 router. All these three router I will enable Hsrp routing protocol, as well as internet also I will enable routing protocol. Now it's fully communicated, so all the router can knows, each and every network can know through the Hsrp routing protocol. So now we can go to configure Hsrp in R2 router, R3 router and R4 router. Then we can run the Wireshark and we have to capture the packet, how the active can be elected, standby can be elected, and then listen should be elected. We can discuss. Okay, in Hsrp, through the priority only, the router can be act as an active router. So in my office network, I can use virtual IP, that is 192.168.100.254 is my virtual IP. So this IP going to configure as a default gateway for all the systems. So once I will enable Hsrp means all these three routers through the allow packet to know about the virtual IP as well as the virtual MAC address. So these three routers sending the allow packet. In the allow packet itself, it will mention is priority. So when compare these three router, which priority is highest, that router can act as an active. Once the router is act as an active means all the PC will communicate through that router to reach the internet, and that PC will request any OR packet for that virtual IP means the active router will reply to that OR packet. Instead of its physical interface, physical MAC address, it will send its virtual MAC address, that is 0000C07ACXX. If you are using Hsrp version 1 means that is a virtual MAC address. In case if you are using Hsrp version 2 means the virtual MAC address is 0000C9FF then XXX. That can be used as a virtual MAC address for Hsrp version 2. Okay, now I am going to configure hot standby router protocol on all these three router. So first of all I will go to R2 router. So before configuring Hsrp, so just I will enable the debug command to check how the okay, and R3 router also I will give debug standby, enter. Next we can go to the R4 router, also we can give debug standby. Okay, so before configuring hot standby router protocol, I will capture the Wireshark. So just I will capture this link. Okay, next we can go to here also I will capture Wireshark. Okay, next one R4 router also I will click it and capture Wireshark. Okay, so we can go to R2 router fast Ethernet 0/0. I will configure. So go to the global mode, then interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Okay, here I will configure as an standby is an keyword. Next we have to give the group number. So by default I am using Hsrp version 1, so the group number should be 1 to 255. So here I will give group number as 150 space IP is an keyword, what virtual IP you are using. So here I am using 192.168.100.254 is my virtual IP. Next one standby 150 preempt. So preempt should be enabled. Next one standby 150 my priority is 150. So I will give my priority as an 150 and I will give enter. So give my priority as an 150. Okay, next one, standby 150. Then I will give authentication. So authentication I will give keyword. So I will give my keyword as an Gautam. So all the router should have the same key, then only it will be enabled. Okay, we can go to R3 router. So interface fast Ethernet 0/0. So here I will give standby. Then group number is on 150. IP same IP you have to give 192.168.100.254. Next one, standby. So standby 150. So standby 150 preempt. Okay, just I will debug all these things. Okay, I will debug everything. Now we can configure. So standby 150. So preempt. Next one, standby 150. Authentication is an Cisco. Sorry, Gautam. So same name should match. So here I will give Gautam. Next one, standby 150. So I will give priority as 150. Enter. Okay, that's my configuration about R3 router. We can go to R4 router. So in R4 router, so before I am configuring these things, I will type it in notepad because I will enable debug command. Each and every command I will enter means the debug command will be running. So it's difficult to configure next command. So I will write down that command in notepad. So just go to that interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Next one, standby 150 IP and IP address is 192. Virtual IP address is 192.168.24. Sorry, 100.254. Next one, standby 150 space preempt. Next one, standby 150 space authentication. So authentication name is Gautam. Okay, that's it configuration about. So here I will not mention any priority. By default priority 100 itself, I can leave it. It's just this configure, copy this command and I will paste it here. Okay, that's it. Okay, now I will just undebug everything. Okay, so all debugging command is disabled. We can go to R2 router and I will give undebug all. Okay, the debug command should be disabled. We can go to above. Okay, so here we can see once I will configure standby 150, then the 150 is my group number, IP, then virtual IP address is 192.168.100.254. The interface will got up. So here we can see it will come from disable state to init state. So disable means the interface is in administratively down. Once the interface got up and we can configure Hsrp means it will go to init state. So after init state it will goes to listen state. Init to listen. Next listen to speak state. Here we can see listen to speak state. Next one, speak to standby. Here we can see speak to standby. Then finally it will move to standby to active state. You can see active state. Okay, so before that I will just capturing the Wireshark in all the interface. Right click and stop capture, and this interface also I will give right click and stop capture, and this interface also I will stop capture. Okay, now so in R2 router I will configure priority as 200. Now this router R2 router is going to be act as an active router. In R3 router I will give priority as 150, so that router is going to be a standby router. In R3 router I will not mention any priority, so the default priority is 100, so that router is in standby state. So we can check show standby. So standby, here we can see the state is active, that is R2 router is going to be an active, and the virtual IP address is 192.168.100.254 and virtual MAC address. So here I am using version 1, so the virtual MAC address is 0000.0C07. next one AC96, so the group number is 150. So here the group number is 150, so that is going to convert into binary format. So 128 should be an 1, 64 should be an 0, then 32 should be an okay. So 150 you should convert into binary format, that is 128. So 128 we can put it as an 1. Next to 164 we can put it as a 0, and 32. 128 plus 32 means so here we can put it as an 0 and 1. Next to 1 and 0 1 1 0. So now you can, this is converted into binary format. Again it should be converted into hexadecimal, means this 4 bits it can be 8421. So 8 plus 1 9, that is 9, and here it's an 6, so 96. So that's why only here we can written as an AC96. So the group number should be converted into binary format, then that should be converted into decimal format, means you will get it as a 96. So